What's up, everybody? I am Colin Sheehan, host of All In with Colin here on Trust the Profits YouTube page. I'm so glad that you could join me again. It's almost that time of the year where we're almost at Saratoga, an exciting time for those of us here up in the Northeast. The best advice I can give you that you'll get on this show is for those of you driving up from Massachusetts, don't get pulled over by a New York State trooper on the way to Saratoga where you lose half your bankroll before you even make it to the track. That's a rookie mistake, and we don't want that to have happen. And not that you should drink and drive anywhere, but particularly don't drink and drive up in Saratoga. Those are two things you don't want to have ruin your trip, which will be one that will be memorable for all good reasons. Those are reasons that you don't want to remember. Hopefully you all enjoyed our episode with Matthew DeSantis 2 weekends ago on Stable Duel. This show is all about having fun and teaching people hopefully something from a lot of different voices. Anybody wants to come on the show, they're welcome to hear how they handicap what they see and how they put together this excellent puzzle of this sport that we love. And what I was so happy to see just recently was Each and Every Stride posting that they finally won their first Stable Duel contest. And if you'll notice, Matthew obviously responded and said, "Way to go," as he's positive and always is. And you can see Each and Every Stride's response. "Thanks. Watching your video with C. Sheehan for Trust the Profits was helpful." So that made my night to see that what we put out there, the content that we had put out, made an impact on someone winning their first Stable Duel contest. And the information in that video is something that you can always go back and reference, and I would encourage you to. The info's there from Matt, and I think since he was on the show, I feel like he has taken down the contest just about every other day. So hopefully we are setting a precedent here where you come on the show and we turn you into winners. What we're going to do today is take a look at an angle that I like to pay attention to, something that I continually see winning, and that is horses cutting back in distance but being on the lead late in that last race that was run at a longer distance. Check out these winners that I've noticed using this angle. Now, this is since June 19th, the ones that I pay attention to, Belmont and Churchill. These were some of the ones that I picked out. And these winners aren't favorites. We got two $17 winners there, a $14 winner, $25 winner, mail order. That was one of them that I did have. I don't always see these before. I love to go back and look and see what happened on the races. And when I go back and see that and keep seeing this angle, I make note of it. I did hit mail order. And then the last race there, Custom Bodies and Fast and Furious, the 7.6 Exacta, which both of them were cutting back in distance when they were on the lead late in those longer distances. That Exacta paid $56. One thing that I love to reference is this book called The Complete Handicapper by James Quinn, You Can Beat the Races. So although this is an angle that I love to look for, I've also found this angle out of this book. And one of the bullet points he has here is horses exiting routes last time when they failed to run within a length of the leader at the first three calls. That is a horse that you do not want to bet. And it says their handicappers commit many more mistakes with the second guideline being the one above. They accept horses moving 2 sprints from routes in which they have demonstrated no tactical speed at the first 3 calls. And what does that mean? An excellent route to sprint maneuver for handicappers involves the routers that have run on the lead or within a length beyond the first 4 furlongs to the pace call. This is the angle that I love to pay attention to, and we're going to jump into my past performances here and show you some of those winners that I had previously displayed for you. Let's take a look here at All White. This is from Belmont Park, June 19th, race number 2. And what you'll notice here is this race was being run at 7 furlongs. It's a maiden claimer for $20,000. This number 4 horse, remember I said that this race was being run at 7 furlongs. The distance in which this horse had been running was all mile races. Mile, the last 4, 7 furlongs, a mile and a mile. What you really want to pay attention to right here is this column in the stretch. And I love to see horses that were within one length at that longer distance and then cutting back to a shorter distance. Okay, so in this instance, All Light had been running at a mile, was cutting back to 7 furlongs, and in 2 of the last races was within a length in the stretch, and was in second place 3 races back. Doesn't stand out as much as some of these other examples I'll show you. And we're going to jump to number 14, Busy Morning. This was the 2.5 to 1 horse that had won, and this was a lightly raced horse, so there was only one race. This was June 25th on the turf, 6 furlongs at Belmont Park. Busy Morning had run at a mile, so he's cutting back to 6 furlongs, but in that mile race, in the stretch, was half a length behind the leader. And kind of what this starts to show you is there was just too much distance and they couldn't hold on. So cutting back in distance when they were close to the lead hopefully will benefit them. Okay, let's take a look at Brazilian Air. This was on Saturday, June 25th, Belmont Park. Cutting back to 7 furlongs. This horse had been running mile 16, mile 16, mile 16, mile 16. Look at these stretch runs right here. Within one length, within a length of a half, within half a length, within 1.5 lengths, within 1 length. This one stood out to me, and this horse did come back and pull off that win at Belmont Park at a short price. He was only 2 to 1. But we're going to jump into these longer shots here. Belmont Park, Friday, July 1st. This race is being run at 6 furlongs on the turf. Custom Bobbies, if you look back in these turf races, so these last 4, he was in the stretch. They were run at a shorter distance, but they were being run on the dirt. What I wanted to focus in on was these races that I've highlighted here in green, which are on the turf and were being run at a mile. Check out the stretch of all these races. Within a length, within 2 lengths, within 2.5 lengths, within 1 length, within 2 lengths, within a length. All in the stretch run. So this is the exact thing I look for when they're running at longer distances than the distance is going to be today. And in the stretch run, they were within 2 lengths of the leader. Custom Bobby went off at 11 to 1 and was a winner on this race at Belmont. We'll continue on, and I'll just continue to show you how this has continued to come up over the last 2 weeks. Here we are, mile on the turf, Saturday, July 2nd at Belmont Park. Jerry the Nipper. This one doesn't stand out as much. There was only one race that was longer. It was this mile and the 16th. So sometimes these are a little tricky, especially on these Brisnet PPs when they'll say may improve at the shorter distance right here. You have to be careful because that might have only been one race, and in this instance it was, where the last race he ran a mile 16th. He had actually been running at a mile, but in all of those races you could see first, second, third, first, always near the lead. And of course this one stood out to me. He was only within a length. So the mile 16th, he was within a length, couldn't hold on, cuts back to a mile and gets it done at, he went off at 8 to 1. And the 9 in this race was also, I'm sorry, not this race. He wasn't cutting back. There was another race, so I'll show you the example, where someone was cutting back and the exacta ended up hitting. 6 furlongs, Saturday, July 2nd. This was the one that I told you I had hit at 25 to 1. Mail order. Check out all of these stretch runs, as we highlight here for you, on the past performances presented by Brisnet. Stretch run within a length, within 2 lengths, and second place within 5 lengths. All of these were run at longer distances. 7.5, a mile and 16th, 7 furlongs. Okay, today's race is being run at 6 furlongs on the turf. This horse popped at 25 to 1, and certainly can make your day when you hit one of those. And what I had forgot was that mail order and Jerry the Nipper, the last one that we last showed you, that was the last 2 races, and that double paid $210 utilizing this angle. We'll just go through a couple more here that I saw. This race was Saturday, July 2nd at Belmont Park. Here's Linny Kate. This one didn't stand out as much. It wasn't as clear. May improve at the shorter distance. This is kind of the note that I pay attention to when you see this on the Brisnet PPs. Had run at 1 mile and 1/8. Had shown some early speed. Actually, in the stretch, had already started to struggle. This race today was being cut back to 1 mile and 1/16. And Linny Kate went off at 8 to 1. So certainly you can find these prices using this angle. It's one that I certainly pay attention to. So if you see the horses running at a longer distance than they're running today, and in the stretch run in that longer distance they were within 2 lengths of the leader and showed that they had some tactical speed, it is an angle that can pay dividends and is one that you can use in any type of race. These examples I showed you were allowances, maiden claimings, claiming races. And if I could plug this book one more time, it gives you some excellent information. You can use it as a reference. It's The Complete Handicapper by James Quinn. You Can Beat the Races. And again, that's the angle that I was talking about today. An excellent route to sprint maneuver for handicappers involves the routers that have run on the lead or within a length beyond the first 4 furlongs of that longer race. It's something to pay attention to, and hopefully it can help you find some more winners coming up soon.